The 23.4 billion naira EKO Rice Classic Sport Contract has been launched. Now, this is a huge opportunity for rice traders, investors, and of course, key players in the rice value chain. Hello and welcome to another episode of LCFE Market Plus. My name is Joy Osamudame. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're right in time. This is LCFE Market Plus. Today, we are going to be discussing why the EKO Rice Classic Contract is a game changer for commodities traders and institutional investors. On set with me is the Training and Capacity Building Officer for the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange, Dipriye Kipos. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi Joy, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. I must say I love your name.
Thank you, it's a unique name.
Yeah, I must say that. Now, let's talk about EKO Rice Classic Contract. Let's start with the basis. Why exactly is EKO Rice Classic, and why should investors start paying attention to EKO Rice Classic?
I think I'm taking a deep breath because I'm thinking to myself, where do I want to start from?
Okay.
The rice contract was listed on the floor, as you are aware, 23rd of September 2025.
You're right.
So the rice contract is a contract that is approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission and is a tradable instrument on the floor of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. So what that means is investors can visibly trade rice, just like how you would trade any other assets, equities, or commodities in general. Perhaps the most significant aspect of the question you've asked is, as an investor, right? Whatever kind of investor you are, where can I plug in? Where are those opportunities? And I'll tell you for a fact, as per research, Nigeria consumes over 7 million metric tons of rice annually and produces just about 5 million. So there's a gap, a demand gap of about 2 million. Exactly, a huge gap. And I can bet you've probably eaten rice this week.
Obviously.
How many times already?
There is no family that goes on a week without eating rice. Now, even rice is made for the poor.
Exactly. Rice is made. Every day people eat rice. So you can imagine that gap. So you're telling yourself, as an investor, how can I plug in? How can I close that gap? How can I upscale? How can I make money from it? So the rice contract is a huge thing. I know subsequently, as we go further in this interview, there'll be questions that will make me reel out figures. But for now, all I can say is it's tough to start from somewhere, but the rice contracts that have been listed on the floor is a huge thing. And in attendance, of course, was the DJ of the Director General of SEC, Dr. Agama, recognizing him specially for coming to list the rice on the floor.
Yeah.
We also had the Commissioner for Agriculture here, amongst other dignitaries, brokers included. So the rice listing that happened was a big deal on 23rd of September 2025. And it's just the beginning of much more that can be done in the exchange and in Nigeria as a whole.
Well, I was there during the launch of the EKO Rice Classic Sport Contract, and I must say the contract is valued in billions.
Whoa.
Yeah, so how does this signify a form of confidence for investors and traders in this value chain?
First, the contract is valued at exactly 23.4 billion naira.
Exactly.
In worth.
Yeah.
But it's very much more important to know that 23.4 billion naira worth of EKO Rice Classic contract that is being listed is just a drop in the ocean. It doesn't satisfy Lagos, let alone Nigeria as a whole, but it shows how much more the government, statewide and national-wise, is willing to do in terms of agriculture. You can't achieve a $1 trillion economy without agriculture.
That's right.
There. But another significant figure you need to place in mind is that as a nation, per research, we've been importing rice worth $2 billion. So this is just a drop in the ocean, and you can convert $2 billion to naira, it will run into trillions. So this is just a drop in the ocean. What this contract, 20.4 billion worth of contract, can do, it can ensure food security at the barest minimum, amongst many other values it can bring to the market.
Now, traditionally, agriculture has been seen as a risky kind of investment.
True.
You know, I have a lot of people who say, oh yeah, I invested into agriculture, but I got my hands burnt. What's significant about the EKO Rice Classic Sport Contract?
It's classic for a reason, isn't it?
Yeah, I love the classic.
So, first start, everything is a risk. There's probably the saying that you wake up every day is risk, and then you get to thank God or whoever your deity is. But the point I'm trying to make is there's a risk, but one thing the exchange has done in the past few years its existence is made sure that we've minimized that risk. It cannot be completely eliminated, but it can be minimized. Now, for instance, talk about a risk could be post-harvest loss, and I think that's the major thing, because you don't want to have a situation as a farmer or an investor, you've put money and you don't want to get your hands burnt, and there is no way to store, and then everything, your yield and everything goes away, thereby losing every form of money you put and any form of investment, and you don't want to do that. So the exchange has done a huge work, and credit to the exchange, credit everyone around the world listening to this. The exchange has done a huge work in bridging that gap, right, and ensuring food security. So one thing that can be done is the fact that we have a term called warehouse receipt now. So it can mitigate risk. So the warehouse receipt is basically now being backed by the new Investment and Securities Act that was signed into law by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, March 29th, precisely 2025. So that warehouse receipt makes sure that as a farmer, I can get my commodity put in a warehouse, get a warehouse receipt issued by a collateral manager, and then I can take to the bank for collateral, or I can even sell that contract to another person. And similar to those that are into equities, having share certificates, you can also trade your warehouse receipt on the floor. So what that has done is that it has reduced your risk. And in recent times, the exchange has brought partners across the board to reduce post-harvest losses, not just in agriculture, but across other agricultural assets, thereby reducing your risk and maximizing your returns.
Now, in case someone is wondering, what are these people even saying, right? Now, I brought you someone right in the heart of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. So these are the front players when it comes to the EKO Rice Classic Sport Contract. So when Priya is saying something about EKO Rice, just know that he knows exactly what he's saying. Now, how comparing rice to other commodities like gold, oil, right? So where does this rice spot contract play amongst other commodities in the ecosystem?
I'm about to make a silly joke.
Okay, please do.
I haven't eaten oil or eaten gold recently, but I've eaten rice. And when I use the word rice, I don't want to refer to just rice. I want to be able to see, for everyone to see beyond the fact that rice represents just a major staple in terms of agriculture. So I'm trying to refer to agriculture as a whole. Rice just being the forerunner in terms of setting the pace on the exchange. As much as I've done is probably, I haven't eaten oil money. I don't know where the oil money is, to be fair, but I've eaten rice. So how does it compare? It compares a huge lot. So we are in a situation where, as a nation, if we can maximize, like I said earlier, our agriculture, we can reduce over dependence on oil especially, and not have issues back and forth as a nation. So the rice, permit me to use in quotes, quote and unquote, is a huge deal. And like I said, agriculture is a huge deal. So compared to other commodities, it's unfathomable. It has much more potential because it's a commodity that can be consumed every day in terms of food. You can't go days without food, but you can probably walk and not enter. I'm not saying no one, please listen to me. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a car. It's okay to have gold, but rice and agriculture as a whole plays a huge role in our economy and in our everyday lives everywhere around the world. So once again, the classic rice contract is just doing its bit in ensuring that agriculture is out there. And credit to the Governor Sanwo-Olu, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and then credit to the president for his insistence on making sure that we get to that point as a nation where we can actually maximize value and returns from agriculture.
Awesome. Now, Dupree, there are some persons who will hear about 23.4 billion naira and they're like, whoa, that's big. So let's fathom in these small traders, small investors. Is there a space for them to play in this whole contract deal?
Let me talk to you. Talk to them. If I'm the one, I'm thinking right away, I'm coming to the floor of the exchange to get information and to come make inquiries. Is there a way to play in this space? Definitely. And I'll tell you something. Okay, if I use the word lot size, it's probably too big grammar. I don't want to be proud about being one of the foreigners or being on the front lines, but basically, you can come and trade as much as 1 kg. And that brings me to bring up the fact that when the rice was listed, it was listed at 1,200 per kg, meaning a 50 kilogram you're looking at 60,000, and it's trading per kilogram. And that same day, the market closed at 1,320 per kilogram at the barest minimum.
Wow.
1,320. You can enter the market and trade. You don't have to take delivery. Right? So if you trade 50 kg, you take delivery, I'll exit your position. I'm trying not to be too technical, but exit your position by selling your contract or taking delivery of the rice. But the point is, whether you're a small scale farmer or you just want to invest in little amounts or quantities, or you just want to be a retail investor, you can keep trading and then keep taking delivery outside for the market. So it's as simple as that. So as little as 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, you can be in the market and you can say, oh, I'm officially trading. And once again, it is SEC approved, meaning it is legit. That's the word.
Now, where does this trading take place? Is there a market physically somewhere? Is there an address to the market that people need to go there and do the trading?
All right, so the trading happens via brokers.
Okay.
Brokers trade on the floor of the exchange, similar to how you have brokers trade shares on the Nigerian exchange group. You have brokers that also trade commodities on the floor of the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. Okay. And once they trade, like we said earlier, they can decide to take delivery. So if I'm trading, I'm just giving my broker a mandate, like an instruction to buy this or sell this, and then once there's a bid, there's a technicality, and there's a settlement, right? Of which the settlement cycle by November will go to T+2, meaning within 2 days I can get my money. So once again, credits to the government and SEC for making sure this is possible. So I can trade, unlike before, it takes me 3 working days. From November, it's going to take me 2 working days to get my money or take delivery of my assets. So in a nutshell, it trades through the flow of the exchange. Do you need to see the commodity? Not necessarily. It's backed up. Like I said earlier, the warehouse receipts are trading, and these commodities are backing up that warehouse receipt to say, okay, I have, as an investor, let's say investor Priye, I have X amount of commodities at this price in a registered warehouse that is also registered with SEC.
Okay, so how can these people get the brokers? Where are these brokers?
So you can log on to the website, lcfe.ng, or reach out to our contact phone numbers 0915 000 8000, 0915 000.
It's going to be displayed on the screen so you can just see it.
Yeah, fantastic. So, and then you can also reach out, make inquiries at the exchange, and the exchange will be able to link you up with brokers. But there are lots of brokers. We have over 60 dealing member firms. So when I say dealing member firms, meaning firms that are actively involved in trading on the floor.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, so let's take a short break, and when we come back, the show continues. Don't go anywhere. Are you still eating rice that will travel from west to south before it gets to your plate? Why are you stressing yourself when you can eat EKO rice? Oh yeah, come closer. Come closer. Let me open your eye to why you should choose EKO rice. Oh Unlike other rice that has lost their identity, EKO Rice retains its natural nutrients, flavor and aroma, that kind that will make you say, this tastes like home. EKO Rice is naturally rich in lipids that support metabolic health and energy levels. So whether you're at work or in the gym, don't worry, EKO Rice will give you all the fuel that you need all day. No GMO here. EKO Rice is indigenously sourced from Nigerian seed varieties, pure, natural, proudly Naija, proudly EKO. Unlike all these rice that you will eat and start shouting, oh God, EKO Rice is stone-free, dust-free, double Sotex to meet global standards. Now here is the exciting part. EKO Rice is the first rice listed on the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange. So you will not just enjoy eating EKO Rice, you can now invest in EKO Rice. Wisdom. Contact us with any of the numbers displayed on the screen or visit any of our redemption centers closest to you. EKO Rice, our rice! So now that we are through shooting, let me carry this one and rest with it. After all, it is called workshop. Welcome back. Now, Priya, before we call it a day for today's episode, right? Tell us, where do you see the rice trading investment in as a commodities in, say, the next 5 years in the commodities ecosystem?
I don't think I'll be able to reason much of it, and that's not because I don't want to, but it's going to surpass what is happening right now.
Okay.
With a nation where the population is going to be on the high side,
ever increasing,
and the consumption, permit me to use that word, even though it's not necessarily a word, but rice being consumed is going to be on the high side. Like we said earlier, an average person eats rice maybe 3 to 4 times a week. So it's going to be worth billions and trillions. And if we ever get to that point, of which I believe as a nation we can get to the point of achieving a $1 trillion economy, then rice as a commodity and agriculture as a whole can take half, if not more than half. And not necessarily all. Let's make space for oil and gold, like we made reference to, or all that. But it's going to be much more. We're talking trillions, right? All things being equal, we're talking trillions of naira that can be done. And once again, it's just going to be a drop in the ocean in what can happen in the commodity space.
Awesome. Besides, I'm just excited that beyond just consuming rice has become an instrument where people can invest and trade. It's an applaudable movement.
If you had told me prior to today that you could come to a floor, trade rice, and on the same rice there could be multiple trades leading to price discovery, and that's buying and selling on the same commodity, I would have probably just looked at you as like a loser, or just assumed that you were lying to me. But it's not the case. Past few years being at the exchange, seeing what has happened, the potential is very, very much there, not just for agriculture but for other asset classes like the solid minerals, the currencies, the oil and gas, similar to what gold is also doing, amongst other commodities. And rice is always that commodity, whether it's in season or not, the demand is always there, meaning there's a lot for investors to partake of.
Well, awesome. And I must applaud the Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange for creating a transparent trading platform for traders to thrive in this ecosystem. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode.
Thank you everyone.
You're welcome. It was great having you on set. So at this juncture, we've come to the end of today's episode of LCFE Market Plus. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, this is the best time. Follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification button so you always get notified whenever we post anything on the platform. Now, till I come your way same time next week, you have a beautiful week. Bye for now.